Play of the game.
Hello guys and welcome to my FPS guide for Overwatch. Now, watching some other FPS guides, I realised that not many people actually go into the config file for this, and they just change the in-game settings, and that doesn't help too much. I've realised that I've messed around with it so much and realised that you have to go into config to actually make a difference. So today what I'm going to be showing you is what you change in the config and what to put into the config and what commands work and which ones don't. So give it a second. Right, where was I? Talking about configs, what do you put in and what don't you put in? What works, what doesn't work? Sorry guys, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so I can't really speak very clearly. I'll try my best. So what doesn't work and what does work. So I'm going to open my config here, go into Documents, then into Overwatch, then into Settings, and then it will be settings_VO, which will be, that should be the only one in there. These are other things I've tested. So if you open that, it will have every single option in here. Okay. Sometimes for some people, I don't know why, but sometimes it has like nothing in here. It'll have no options at all. And I think I actually have an example. Yeah, like this. It only has like some things. And that's got everything. So this is the one we are going to be using, and I'm just going to go through and tell you what these do. So obviously I'm going to put this in the description, like my config, and then you guys can try it, see if it helps you. So I'm going to do show intro, cinematic, obviously just optional, have it off normally. GPU device, I don't know where you actually find this. It should put it in there automatically anyway. Yeah, all this stuff should be in here automatically, I think. So let's just ignore all that. Render, okay. So here's the actual all the settings. So to start off, we have the AADetail, which is like FXA and all that stuff. I have mine on 3, which is high. Which it doesn't. I'm surprised at how much this doesn't really affect performance. I've tested all of them; they very rarely change the performance. So I put mine quite high. AnisotropicFiltering. I couldn't figure out what this changed. I turned it on and off. It did make an FPS difference, but there was no settings in there that it changed, so I just turned it off. DirectionalShadowDetail. Right, this is where things get interesting. This is turning off the shadows, and I will have some footage like comparing the two settings. I've got one on Epic and then one on my settings, so I'll compare the two. So this one turns shadows off. DynamicAmbient, that's ambient occlusions, if I do believe. EffectsQuality, just put that to low. It's really not very useful in this game. It just makes things get in the way. You have to put your own stuff in, like your own refresh rate and your own stuff like that. Resolution, that's what I was thinking of. FullScreenWindow, that's optional. FullScreenWindowEnabled. Why is there 2 options for that? Okay. GFXPresetLevel, right. This is like the overall graphics, so I think this changes some things you can't change in the game. So I always set that to low. LightQuality, that does not change, I think. I can't remember if I got it to work or not. Oh no, yeah, it does work. 0 is the low setting, then 1 is medium, and then 2 is high. Now I kept putting it to 2, thinking it was putting it on like low, but it was putting it on high. So yeah. And then limit FPS to 30. Why are you coming here if you want that? LimitToRefresh, I don't know what that does. I think that stops, like it stays with your refresh rate of your screen. LocalFogDetail, you want to make sure that is definitely on 1 because that is a big FPS killer. LocalReflections off, that's quite a big FPS killer as well. These 3 settings here, I'm not sure what they change. I've messed around with them and they don't seem to change anything. Maximized window, it's optional. Model quality high because it very rarely affects FPS. Refraction detail off because that does affect FPS quite badly. They're optional, the render brightness and contrast stuff. Render scale, put that to 0 and that'll be 100%. But obviously you can put that lower if you want. So like 55 or whatever it is, 50 and 75 I think it is, which are the lower ones. And if your computer is really bad, you might want to do that because it is a big FPS like jumper. So just from changing from 100 to like 55, you could gain like 20-30 FPS from that. Show FPS counters, preference, simple directional shadows. I like to have this on because for some reason when I turn it off, I get worse lag. I don't know why. It's just a thing. So I would have thought turning more shadows off would have made it run better, but obviously not. Sound quality, I don't know what that changes. Don't know what that changes. I've messed around with these three. They don't change anything at all. I don't know what they change. They make no difference to your game at all though. Texture detail, that's on medium. That's medium or high, I'd say. I messed around with high, it does make a bit of an FPS difference, but very slightly. So put that to medium or low, depending on what your computer can handle. Texture filtering quality, this is another one I couldn't get to work. I tried, I couldn't find the command anywhere, so I just left it in there to make sure it changed, but it didn't. So that would be like the 2 times, or oh no, that would be 4 times, I think. I'm not sure. It's 2 or 4. Translucent shadow detail off because that's taking more shadows out. Triple buffering enabled off. GPU scale off. Vertical sync, that's personal preference. I prefer to have it on because it makes the game feel smoother. After you've done the settings, you'll want to save them, and then there'll be the settings _VO. And these aren't the real ones I'm using, so I can get rid of them. Like that. And you want to rename it, make sure it's the right name. Whoops. Whoopsie daisies. Restore, there we go. Rename, not delete. There we go. Make sure it's the right name. And then you want to right click, properties, read only. Make sure it's applied. There we go. Okay. Right. Now it's going to be the 2 comparisons, and as you can see, the difference in the things are very different. So the one on the right is epic, and the one on the left is my settings, the ones without shadows. And as you can see, the shadow difference is crazy. Having shadows on, and this is on epic settings as well, so my settings are on like medium to high-ish. So on epic, I tried to play a game and I gave up because it was just too laggy. I was under 30 FPS, around 20 to 30, and this is on my computer. I'm on 750, just a normal 750, 1GB VRAM, an i3 processor, 8GB RAM. Yeah, it's not amazing, but I went into this game thinking I would be able to run it like easily on high, and I instantly I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to be so hard to run. I thought there would have been like more texture settings, because to be honest, changing from high to low doesn't make too much of a difference, like in the actual looks wise. So I've got like a alright spec PC, but as you can see, it's not amazing at running it. So if you use my settings, or just tweak them to your own, you might be able to get some better FPS out of it. I sure was able to make my game run perfectly fine. I think it's around 90 FPS I get, 90 to 100. With those settings, and with Epic I get 30. So yeah, these settings are definitely better. So please, if you liked, please subscribe and leave a comment below on anything I missed, which I probably did. I probably missed something, but if I missed anything, please leave a comment, and if you like the video, please leave a thumbs up as well. And if you want any more tutorials on Overwatch, like guides on things, guides on the heroes, then please tell me, and I'll get around to them. And no videos recently because I'm in the middle of doing my GCSE exams, so my videos will be a bit on and off at the moment. That's why I haven't been doing any for a while. That's why you see like the odd one every few months. That's my bad, I'm sorry. I'll get around to doing more soon. But thank you for watching, guys. See ya.